Here is a question that might change your life. Why is it that you could sit down and easily destroy 3 bags of potato chips, probably totaling 1,500 calories, without batting an eye? But if I put a 1,500 calorie steak in front of you, you would physically struggle to finish it? Welcome to Levitas. You've been told it's because the chips are addictive. You've been told it's because you lack willpower. But what if I told you that your brain has a hidden counter? A biological tracker that refuses to turn off your hunger hormones until it gets a specific amount of one specific nutrient. You are not addicted to food. You are biologically starving for it, and your body is forcing you to eat excess calories to find it. This is the science of the protein leverage hypothesis. I want to start with a genuine question, and be honest with me in the comments. Have you ever eaten a massive meal, maybe a giant bowl of pasta or a huge salad, and felt physically full, like your stomach is stretched, but your brain is still scanning the room for a snack? Why does that happen? What is that phantom hunger? Let me know below what your kryptonite food is. And while you're down there, please hit that like button. It helps a ton with the algorithm. Now, let's get into the biology of why you are always hungry. To understand this, we have to take a deep look at a groundbreaking concept called the protein leverage hypothesis. It was first proposed by 2 great researchers, Simpson and Robbenheimer, back in 2005. They started by studying locusts. They gave these insects different diets, some high in protein, some low. And what they found was truly fascinating. The locusts had a specific protein target. If they were fed a low-protein diet, they didn't just eat until they had enough energy. No, they kept eating and eating and eating, consuming massive amounts of excess carbohydrates, just to extract that tiny bit of protein they needed to survive. It turns out, humans are exactly the same. We have a dominant appetite for protein, or the essential amino acids in it. Your brain treats protein as the master nutrient. Think of your hunger like a security system. That alarm, the feeling of hunger, will ring and ring until the protein quota is met. If you eat a diet of ultra-processed foods, those junk foods that are high in fat and sugar but very low in protein, your body forces you to keep eating. You literally have to overeat calories to get your protein needs met, which, as we know, can turn into a problem. This isn't a theory, it's clinically observed behavior. In a human study published in 2011 by Dr. Gosby and colleagues, they locked people in a metabolic ward. They found that when the protein in the diet was diluted from 15% down to 10%, the participants didn't just eat less protein. They increased their total calorie intake by 12% to make up for it. That might not sound like much, but over a couple months or a year, that is enough excess energy to cause significant weight gain. This brings us to the protein dilution scandal. The modern food industry knows that protein is expensive, and that sugar, flour, and industrial oils are much cheaper. So, over the last 50 years, they have systematically diluted our protein food supply. They've replaced the expensive protein with cheap, low-quality energy. So, when you sit down with that bag of chips, you aren't gluttonous. You are searching for the essential amino acids in a sea of carbohydrates. But how does the body actually know? How does your stomach know the difference between a chickpea and a chicken breast? It comes down to the hormonal switch. We need to talk about some very important hormones: Ghrelin, GLP-1, and PYY. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone. When your stomach is empty, Ghrelin screams at your brain to eat. In a pivotal study from 2005 by Weigel and his team, they looked at how different nutrients suppress this hormone. They found that protein is, by far, the most powerful suppressor of Ghrelin. But even more importantly, protein stimulates the release of PYY and GLP-1. You've probably heard of GLP-1 because of the new weight loss medications like the famous Ozempic. Well, your body makes this compound naturally. So protein is nature's Ozempic. When amino acids hit the lining of your small intestine, they trigger these satiety hormones that tell your brain, we are safe. We have the building blocks we need. You can stop eating now. Carbohydrates and fats simply do not trigger this stop signal with the same intensity. This explains the phenomenon of vegetarian phantom hunger. I see this in the clinic often. People switch to a plant-based diet to get healthy, which can be a great choice, but they often ignore protein density. They eat a massive bowl of roasted vegetables and quinoa. It's high volume, it stretches the stomach, but 2 hours later, they are starving. Why? Because the bioavailability of the protein is lower, and the total amount is often insufficient to trip that hormonal switch. If you aren't hitting that leverage point, the hunger signal stays on. So, how do we use this biology to our advantage? How do we hack the system? We use 2 strategies. First is the Thermic Effect of Food, or TEF. Protein is metabolically expensive. It's hard work for your body to break it down. Your body burns about 20% to 30% of the calories in protein just digesting it. Compare that to carbs, which is about 5% to 10%, or fats, which is near 0. If you eat 100 calories of protein, your body really only absorbs about 70 or 80 calories. It's a metabolic advantage. Furthermore, eating protein first on your plate physically slows down gastric emptying, helping you to feel satisfied and reducing any insulin spikes. A 2016 study by Ghrelin showed that a protein preload, eating your protein before your carbs and everything else, significantly reduced the post-meal spike in blood sugar and kept subjects fuller for much longer. So here is the practical solution. I want to give you a rule that you can start using today. You don't need a calculator, and you don't need to track every macro. It is called the 100-gram rule, and you will definitely love it. For most people looking to manage their weight and stop cravings, the goal is to hit a minimum of 100 grams of high-quality protein every single day. Why 100 grams? Because for the average person, this is usually the threshold where the protein leverage kicks in and shuts down the desire for excess snacking. Here is what that might look like for you. For breakfast, 40 grams. That's 3 to 4 eggs and some Greek yogurt, or a scoop of whey protein. For lunch, 30 grams. Like a chicken breast, lean beef, a can of tuna, or a large portion of lentils and organic tofu. And for dinner, 30 grams. This could be a piece of fish, lean beef, or once again, chicken breast. If you prioritize these numbers first, before you touch the breadbasket or the potato, you will find something amazing happens. You won't want the rest of the potatoes. You will reach that point of indifference much faster. And here is the doctor's verdict. We have a tendency to blame obesity on a lack of character. We look at ourselves in the mirror and think we are weak because we can't stop eating processed food. I want you to stop that negative self-talk immediately. You are not weak. You are fighting against millions of years of biology that is trying to keep you alive. Your body thinks it is starving for protein, so it drives you to eat more and more. The solution isn't to starve yourself more. The solution is to feed your body what it is actually asking for, that essential protein and amino acids. When you prioritize protein, you aren't dieting, you are nourishing. And when you are truly nourished, the hunger disappears. Start with the 100-gram rule tomorrow. See how you feel. Watch this video suggestion. It was especially picked for you. Also share, comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It helps a ton with the algorithm. Remain tuned for future videos to empower your health and fitness journey. So, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep going.